We are afraid of everything, even of making a good act. There are many good teachings, many. They make someone to be more kind. They lead you towards own directions. But this is the longer way. The longer way is meant in the specific sense. For example, Agni Yoga cultivates love of neighbor, understanding, but at the same time it implants many restrictions like you should keep off this, keep off that. Imperial is such a thing, you should avoid this, you should be afraid of that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that in such a way. It seems that you can advance, but there are so many barriers that you don't know where to put your foot, and the fear hits. Yes, I agree to advance and to love. I agree to do that thing, and even that thing. The raised teachers are good guys. They talk about good and right. But at the same time, I'm afraid. I'm afraid, and you don't explain why I should love. Why has such need to love appeared? And how to do this, to love? One woman told me how she loves, how she cares about people, and so on. I've dressed her down for that. No one wouldn't even think about that. Oris, come on. She loves indeed. Yes, you love. But what's the use of your love? What's the use of the fact that you love, right? Thus, there are many things which lead to the right ways, to the human directions, which have a good base. But they just have been hung with strong old spurum forms, with old conceptions. This is the same as, for example, Ukstukulur, our quite good scientist, would make some research calculations and follow the ideas like, what if 3 whales exist somewhere? I didn't go around the whole earth. What if they exist and the earth rests on them? That's funny, right? That's funny because you're estranged from this. But I could say the same about the fact that you are filled with fear while approaching love. The prime cause of this fear is the death fear. You're afraid of being perished. You're afraid of dying, afraid of doing even something good, of making some good act. And that's only because you consider it as dangerous to your life. Alexander Matrosov didn't think, when he threw himself on the bunker embrasure, if it was dangerous or not. And he didn't even notice that he has made this. Having passed through many deaths, he still feels and feels alive, as person in other worlds. But if he thought, this means I will die, this means this means that, then that mentioned Alexander Matrosov wouldn't exist. And the same is with many other things, which we don't do only because we are afraid of doing. For example, we're afraid of the fact that somebody will put the evil eye on us. I describe the nature of what we call the jinx in the 12th volume of Iissiidiology. We're afraid of the fact that someone will say something about us. We're afraid. We have shut ourselves away with these fears to people, to circumstances, to the nature, to the life to so much extent that we're scarcely able to walk, and we drag ourselves along the labyrinth of the horizontal worlds. Though we think that we love, we aspire to love all people, as it's written in that good book, and therefore we think the better world is a certainty. There's a good book there. You think you love people, but when someone asks you, I try to love, but not those who hit me in the head with a poker or with something else. I don't like this. This one has slammed the door, and I don't like this too. And this one has driven tractor through, made some noise. Don't like this. I like this person who is sitting close to me, but I don't like that one. So here it is, our love. This is what we acquire during millennia through edifications like love your neighbor. What has been crushed against our egoism, what crusaders have crushed against their shields, against their swords, against their swords, what we've crushed against our heartlessness, against own fear. Heartlessness is also fear. To remove this fear from your structures is my main task. This task is not easy, because I have to dissuade you from many things. And very often I can't prove things which really exist, and this is real. But at the same time, I have no other way. So who believes in this? Who starts to work with this? Who becomes convinced? Yes, damn it, I'm listening to Oris and I don't like him. I can't see his mug, but he writes cleverly, no matter how you look at it. Everything is reasonable in his writing. This is this way, this is that way, and many other things. Finally, to compare with everything else, here it goes the most logically. And that's all. I don't care what you think of me. The most important to me is to take off these bowels from you, this shroud, the stagnation of yours, ignorance, and that's all. I don't need anything else. I need nothing else, nothing from you. Why? Yes, from you. Because I know you there, those you who do completely other things, engage realizing completely different creative processes. All of you are here, but all of you are there too, only because you've believed all the things I tried to ram into you. I leave it at that. Thank you very much, and low bow to you. And no matter how you accept me, nevertheless I will come to you, will press on your brain, will tear off your rags, those of which you are stingy with and don't want to tear off. You will see how hundreds of thousands of indigo people will pour to Ifar. Around 150,000 of new names were received lately. You will see how hundreds of thousands of people will become Ifarites, who are ready for the future worlds, for remaking these worlds to the more qualitative ones. Then you will think, that's impossible for hundreds of thousands and millions of people to be fools. Maybe they aren't, though the world has become better. The worlds I observe now are better than those which were 5 years ago, before I knew the Iissiidiology, or Oris, or something else. In this way the logics has come and come. Your brain racks, your hair stands on end. You forget about death in this process. You forget about the fact that you are so nondescript, so narrow-minded. We'll see as a new human without quotation marks will manifest behind all this bustle. I far to all of you.